right, everybody, welcome aboard here. Sports Talk Nation, Michael Cohen here with you as we are going to talk about everything that happened in the Jets-Giants preseason game. Aaron Rodgers making his debut on the field. Let's talk about it. All right, so folks, obviously a lot of attention is going to be on what Aaron Rodgers did in his 2 series on the field with the New York Jets. A lot of people have been talking about it. So let's just take a look at some of the plays, what stood out, what worked, what didn't work, because overall it was really kind of a mixed bag, if you will, for the Jets offense. There were some good things. There were some things that could be worked on. One thing that stood out from this game is the connection between and the chemistry between Aaron Rodgers and Garret Wilson is outstanding. 3 targets between the two of them. Each of them resulted in a positive result for the Jets. Obviously, the first play of the game is just a simple swing out, right, towards the 20-yard line to Wilson, who does the rest, getting the first down. That just kind of gets things established there for the Jets. Just a very quick out. They're both on the same page as they make that connection. Then later on, we see Aaron Rodgers heave up a pass down the right side, ends up getting a pass interference call as Garret Wilson tried to make the one-handed catch, couldn't haul it in, and then get the penalty on the Giants on top of that, but still results in a positive for the Jets in the fact that they are able to draw Rodgers and Wilson the pass interference penalty, and that, of course, helps set up this offense for what would later be a touchdown. And this touchdown by Aaron Rodgers is just perfect. It's just perfect. I mean, look, when you have a 4-time MVP who's won a Super Bowl, we all know these kind of plays are going to come here, but this is the reason why the Jets made this move. This is why the Jets went out there and made a move to bring in a guy like Aaron Rodgers for plays like this. Now, oh man, look at that beautiful touch pass right over the shoulder, back shoulder fade to Garret Wilson for the touchdown. A couple things stand out for me on this play. A couple things stand out. One, the blocking by the offensive line on the Jets was phenomenal. And keep in mind, the Jets don't have their regular left tackle, Dwayne Brown, in this game. He is not starting in this game. There are a couple guys on the starting lineup who did not play. Alan Lazard didn't play at wide receiver. Obviously, no Delvin Cook, no Breece Hall. They're still trying to get their way back into playing shape, obviously. But they have the backup left tackle in there, and he does a great job in his assignment. Now, granted, I know the Jets are playing up against a lot of the Giants' second-teamers in this game. A lot of the Giants starters did not play in this contest, but still, great blocking. Look at the pocket that the Jet offensive line creates here for Rodgers as he quickly gets rid of the football and just a perfect spiral where only Garret Wilson can get it. No one else can get that ball except for Garret Wilson, who looks over the shoulder of the cornerback, makes the catch for the touchdown. Just perfect ball placement right in the corner towards the end zone. So from that standpoint, those kind of plays work great for Rodgers. There were plays that did not work great. He missed on a couple of opportunities. There was one play in particular where he had Tyler Conklin up the middle and missed him totally, overshot him. And you saw Rodgers get kind of frustrated, not sure whether he was upset whether Conklin ran the wrong route or whether he was just upset at himself for missing him wide open down the middle of the field. But there was also a drive in the game, first drive, where things are going well for the Jets. They're moving the football. Rodgers hits Garret Wilson, that little screen pass that I showed you earlier. Then he hits Mecole Hardman on another screen pass. The screen passes were great for the Jets in this game. There was one problem, though, in that first drive where the Jets had got converted for a first down, but Randall Cobb was called for a legal blindside block, which is now going to be called by the officials in the NFL this year. So he gets flagged, kind of kills the drive. There's an incompletion, and then there is this sack as the Giants put a lot of pressure. They had a couple plays where the Giants put tremendous pressure on Rodgers and got through. And here their new signee, the guy they just traded for with the Arizona Cardinals, Isaiah Simmons, running rough shot on the right side as he took out Michael Carter. Michael Carter could not handle Isaiah Simmons as he goes rough shot at Rodgers and it forces the incompletion, the errant throws. Rodgers basically gets sacked on the play. And that's the end of that first drive. So there are a few things there that the Jets can work on and try to clean up here before we get towards the regular season. So I think that's where you have to take it right now from the Jet perspective of what we saw on Saturday night. We saw some good, we saw some bad. It was a mixed bag, but the best part is he got out there, he made some plays. They showed you what this offense has potential to do when all things are clicking, even here where they didn't have everybody in the lineup. Another thing to talk about within this game is the defense. The defense for the Jets was phenomenal throughout this contest, especially in the first couple of series where the starters were out there. The amount of pressure that the Jets continue to gauge up front against opposing offensive lines is incredible. Now, granted, this was against the Giants team that did not have all their starters. Andrew Thomas was not out there. You had no Daniel Jones out there. You had no Saquon Barkley out there. I totally understand that. But still, the amount of pressure by the Jets was noticeable, and especially by this guy who just continues to wreak havoc. Jermaine Johnson, what a training camp he has had. What a preseason he has had. Here in this play, Jermaine Johnson and even Quinn Williams show you the amount of power this defensive line has. Here they are. Here's the snap by Tyrod Taylor, and before Taylor even gets a chance to drop back, the Jets are in the backfield waiting for him. What is that, 3 sacks this summer for Jermaine Johnson? You have him. You have, I said, Quinn Williams. You add Will McDonald Jr. in there as well, who's looked impressive. And the Jets have so much tremendous depth. And here is another play. Bryce Huff, who has also had a big training camp, he comes off on the left end and gets the sack of DeVito. He has had a big summer as well. I mean, the Jets have so many guys that they can go to who can get after the passer. It is just incredibly impressive. And then when you top it off with the play of Sauce Gardner over the top in the secondary, it's just been incredible. Here he is going up against Jalen Hyatt of Tennessee. He was the Giants' top wide receiver that they drafted in the draft this past year. What a play by Sauce right there. He just puts his hand up, tips it away. Hyatt's like, I think I just got sauced. Yes, you did. that welcome to Sauce Island, if you will, as just an incredible job by Sauce Gardner. Man, this defense is going to be ferocious. It really is. So even if the Jet offense is off to a sluggish start this year, even if they are having a hard time moving the football as they're trying to get coordinated with all the new pieces, one thing you know is for certain, this Jet defense is going to be on point. Now, a couple of other things that I just want to take away from this game, just from the Jet standpoint first, and we'll get to the Giants in a second. Zach Wilson, I know the numbers look okay, 11 out of 18. He struggled in this game. And it feels like since the first preseason game against Cleveland, he has regressed. We keep talking about the progression of Zach Wilson. No one's talking about the regression. It feels like he regressed because this offense didn't move the football when he was in there. They only got 3 points in the 5 drives that he was in there. They didn't do anything with him last week when he was against Tampa Bay. He has struggled in these games. And yes, I understand you have Rodgers in his ear now. You have Hackett in his ear. It just seems like it's a lot right now for him, and he's still having a hard time. He did not look good in this preseason game. The guy that looked good was Tim Boyle, who has been in the system for years in Green Bay. He looked sharp, led the Jets on 2 touchdown drives, but that has to be, a little bit. You have to be a little concerned about Zach Wilson going into the season. I know the hope is that Zach Wilson doesn't start, and that Aaron Rodgers stays healthy for the entire season, and that Zach Wilson just sits on the bench for the entire year. But it's, for me anyway, his play over the preseason has progressively gotten slightly worse with each game, and the game against the Giants was not great. From the Giants' standpoint, Tommy DeVito, yes, he threw the pick 6 that the Jets had against them. Brandon Echols had against them in the first quarter. They helped the Jets take a 14-0 lead. Overall, looked good. Keep in mind, going up against second, third teamers for the Jets, he looked good for the Giants. You know what? I wonder if the Giants have a little bit of a competition for the backup spot between Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor behind Daniel Jones. I have to wonder that just a little bit. That's where we stand, folks, as the preseason finally comes to a conclusion. And now all the attention, deservedly so, now goes to the regular season. As the Jets welcome in the Buffalo Bills on Monday, September 11th. The Giants, of course, are going to welcome in the Cowboys the night before on Sunday, September 10th. The season is here. Let's get it going. It is going to be fascinating to see whether the hype is for real. And I think it might be just a little bit. A little bit. I don't know if it's going to be exceeding the expectation, matching or exceeding the expectations that a lot of pundits are putting out there. But I can't wait for this to get going. I really can't. To see what this offense is going to look like at full strength, full throttle, if you will, for the Jets. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be an interesting season, folks. Let's not sugarcoat this. The Buffalo Bills are not going to be easy for the Jets. That is a team that likes to blitz. They like to get after the quarterback. They like to hit the quarterback. So it's going to be imperative for the Jets in that football game to protect Aaron Rodgers as much as they possibly can, give him an opportunity, and not make the big mistakes, and that defense to continue to do what they've done in the summer and get after Josh Allen in that game. That's going to be the biggest key in that game for Gang Green. So, folks, I want you to like and subscribe. We'll talk to you next time right here on the Sports Talk Nation.